How's everybody doing? I'm Drake, and we also have Gus here as well, and Kendall Foster and Edgar Delgado. Welcome to our presentation. So our company overview and current situation. Eli Lilly was founded in 1876 by Colonel Eli Lilly. It's a global pharmaceutical company headquartered in Indianapolis, Indiana. Their current CEO, David A. Ricks, was started in January of 2017 all the way till now. And they have offices in 18 countries and sell products in 125 countries. And they're moving to a more tailored therapeutics. And this is from, Peter Johnson, who began to establish this strategy and talk to others about this. And this is the strategy that they wanted to go to. And this is a way that the public has embraced their senior team with major investments in place. And he wondered what else could be done for this move that Lilly has made, and he knew this was going to be a bold move. So the economic trends, in 2018, the unemployment rate will decrease, GDP growth will increase, and interest rates will increase. Manufacturing in the United States is also expected to increase quickly this year, with more jobs available and an increasing market value of U.S. products and services. There will hopefully be a decreasing need for business to borrow from the bank, therefore avoiding the higher interest rates in 2018. Overall, these factors create an ideal economic environment for companies. So next we have the socio-cultural trends. The most dominant trend of 2018 is the use of social media. Communication through online websites and applications has been steadily growing since the release of Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and others. This image gives you an idea of how often Eli Lilly has been mentioned so far this year on social media in each country, and whether these mentions were positive or negative towards the company. Eli Lilly is focused on their reputation mainly in the United States, but has mostly positive feedback from Australia, India, and Japan as well. On the other hand, their reputation in Latin America, Europe, and Africa is suffering. Their efforts to create a positive global reputation for Lilly via social media started in 2012, which they're still struggling with today based on the image shown. So next we have the legal trends. The pharmaceutical industry has faced innovation struggles over the past few years, starting in 2014. Every year, typically 20 to 30 drugs are introduced to the market, but scientists believe that only about 3 are generally new. Global spending on drugs is steadily increasing while patents are quickly expiring, costing the industry even more money, with legal claims expiring and spending increasing. Drugs are becoming even more expensive than before, creating potential problems for pharmaceutical companies. So next we have the technological trends. With social media at large, pharmaceutical companies can use technology to communicate and engage with patients. Technology allows companies like Eli Lilly to collect patient data quickly, which helps companies get products to the market ASAP. Technology is also helping pharmaceutical companies lower cost and risk by industrializing their service. So next we have the 5 forces analysis for pharmaceutical companies. The threat of others entering the industry is low because of the costs of doing so are high. Considering the amount of R&D that is spent by pharmaceutical companies every year, others are discouraged to enter the industry because of government regulations as well. Bargaining power of suppliers is low because there is a handful of large players in the industry already. Bargaining power of buyers is moderate. Health organizations typically buy drugs in bulk and expect reasonable prices, creating bargaining power for buyers. On the other hand, buyer bargaining power has decreased due to the increasing prices of generic drugs. Threat of substitutes is high because of high costs, which causes patients to resort to lower-priced generic drugs when they can. Finally, rivalry among companies in the industry is high because healthcare is important to patients, and they want the product that has the best results with the lowest cost, which pharmaceutical companies are always striving to provide. So here's the the public commitment to personalized medicine. So Lilly made their first public commitment to personalized medicine in 2005. They had a lot of scrutiny by different people throughout the company, especially in their marketing department, which they did not really like because it kind of went away from what they originally were going on, but they knew they had to go into a different direction. And this project is called Project Resilience. And yes, like I said before, a lot of mixed viewpoints on this strategy. One scientist did say that you can't just change our business model. You don't know how to do discovery. furthermore, we have this ongoing pressure to accelerate products to the market. So next we have comparison of strategies. So what Eli Lilly is trying to do is go to more of a targeted therapeutic FIPCO. And there's a lot of risk involved, as you can see by the different variables you need to execute, but the reward is very high. And then if you go to a more conventional approach, it's a lot simpler, not as easy, but the reward is moderate, but the risk isn't as high either. So that's kind of the give or take there with those strategies, but they're going more to a targeted approach. So the differentiation business strategy is what Eli Lilly is going towards, and it's a more unique product feature and unique product performance. The problem with this is, when you get new technologies and you get a lot of great service, costs are going to be higher in that aspect, also with quality of inputs. But again, like we talked about before, the reward could be very high in that aspect.
Some of the resources and capabilities that Eli Lilly are working with right here. The company resources are financial resources, physical resources, human resources, and organizational resources. Their capabilities are operational and distribution capabilities, human resource capabilities, management information systems, marketing capabilities, and product/technology development. Financial resources. Total current assets have increased by $7,278,800 since 2014, which is an increase of 38% within a span of 3 years. Company current assets have upward trend from 2014 to 2018. The largest company assets are cash and cash equivalents, $6,536,200, net receivables, $5,262,200, and inventory at $4,058,300. The physical resources. Physical resources total $16,777,000 combined invested in land, building, and equipment. Total of 194 buildings around the globe. Only 33% of those are located in the United States, and they are present in 120 countries, they only conduct research in 55 countries. Human resources. The top management with experience. They have Company Chief Financial Officer Joshua L. Smiley, who has 24 years of experience at Eli Lilly Pharmaceuticals, and the CEO, who is David A. Ricks, 20 years of experience working at Eli Lilly Pharmaceuticals. The organizational resources. Their established strong core values, integrity, excellence, and respect for people. The reputation rating, according to Business Insider, is 8 out of 15 on most reputable drug companies. And patents and trademarks are important for safeguarding new drug creations. Operations and distribution capabilities. Eli Lilly's inventory turnover ratio was fairly low in the fourth quarter of 2017, being at 1.51. Low ratio indicates that the company may be experiencing low sales relative to the amount of inventory on hand. Some other efficiency measures that they have are the asset ratio at 0.55, the fixed asset ratio at 2.68, and the receivables ratio, which is 5.33. Human resource capabilities. Student opportunities include business, STEM, sales, MBA, and visiting scientist fellowship. Lilly is ranked second in the comparison of the top 10 pharmaceutical companies to work according to Glassdoor, ethics and compliance program, and they promote ethics within the board of directors. Managing information systems. Social Security number protection is an important policy. It limits the number of workers who are able to access Social Security numbers, and information is only disclosed to third parties, only who are legally and or contractually to safeguard this information. The Lilly Answer Center is a service tool that people use if they have any questions about medicine. Their marketing capabilities. In 2016, the company spent $8,224.5 million for advertising in the United States alone. Marketing expense rate as a percent of the revenue is about 7.2%. This percentage indicates large amounts in advertising generating more money. Their product and technology development. In 2018 alone, the company spent $3.8 billion in research and development. Open Innovation Drug Discovery Program is a platform for all pharmaceutical companies, research institutions, and academia to share information in a collaborative way to help fuel or discover new innovations. Company's 2016 research and development as a percentage of the revenue was 24.7%, indicating that most of a quarter, the company's total revenue will cover research and development costs.
Okay, so now we're going to go on to the competitors comparison. So Eli Lilly prides itself on strong records of science-based research productivity. They have spent more R&D as a percentage of sales than any other major pharmaceutical company, and they were not caught up in the merger that happened with a lot of the pharmaceutical companies very recently. So here's the next thing. This is about experience of Eli Lilly, and it doesn't really coincide with the CEO, but the CFO having a lot more experience than their competitors is a huge way for them to get their costs down, even though they're going to a more differentiated approach. This will help them stay a little bit more focused on their goals going forward. So this is a very good sign going forward for the company. Their net income was a bit of an issue early on in the mid 2000s through 2000 and 2010, but their new direction going forward will definitely help them, and it's definitely helped them now. But it goes to show that their new approach was trying to get them back to the top and get them to be able to compete with more of their competitors going forward.
In this section right here, we address the problem of uncertainty, which I believe is the biggest problem that Eli Lilly faces in the pharmaceutical market. This is because there are many elements to this problem, such as economic factors. A recession could occur, or a lack of funding in many forms of business, illness. A lot of that relies on their pharmaceuticals. Are people ill? Do they need their medicine? And is their medicine going to fit their target therapeutic market? And then consumer behavior. Is there demand for their product? And is that demand changing over time? So one of the best ways to combat financial uncertainty is to stay ahead of the curve with economic indicators, staying educated on the general state of the economy, what decisions are being made at the international level, and how economic forecasts might affect your industry will put yourself at a big advantage when compared to your competitors. Forecasting and reviewing is important for the financials. This is a helpful way to combat changes in consumer demand. If your business plan is still addressing the needs of customers as they were a year or two ago, then your plan should probably be updated. Building customer relationships is very important. The best investment you can make for your future stability is building a relationship with loyal customers. Whether it's tough times and struggling economy, a lack of resources, or changes in demand, strong business relationships can keep customers returning. And Eli Lilly actually has this image right here. It's called Lilly's Vision, and it's how they relate to their customers. First, they want to understand their unmet patient needs. Then they create meaningful innovations with that customer, significantly improve a patient's health, and then delivering superior financial performance. And the best recommendation I have out of those three would be the forecasting. The reason I chose this is because Eli Lilly should develop a management program to specialize in predicting a full range of possible outcomes involved with diversified products. Forecasters should be able to explain the logic behind the decisions so employees, management, and even investors can feel confident about the future of Eli Lilly and their business. That concludes our presentation. Thanks for listening.